Alright, welcome back to FlightSim 2020, and welcome to our Tambo's kind of little apron and the HondaJet. In today's video, I've got something a little bit different planned, because what I actually want to do is, Beyond ATC has had quite a few improvements introduced into it since it's released, and so I want to actually get into doing some videos with Beyond ATC around, or specifically in and around South Africa. So my plan is to start it off with some of the more simple flights, which is what we're going to do today. We're going to be taking it from here at our Tambo down to Cape Town International, which is probably the most basic South African flight route you can do, because there are many flights, commercial flights that happen every day between Johannesburg and Cape Town. It's the two biggest airports in the country, and then we'll start making it a little bit more difficult for Beyond ATC, going into some of the smaller airports. Obviously Beyond ATC doesn't support VFR just yet, but we'll go into some of the smaller airports and eventually some of the airports that are uncontrolled and that kind of thing, and see how it deals with that. Of course, Beyond ATC is going to keep improving, so there will be more features added as we go as well. So for today, we're just going to test it out from scratch here at Joburg down to Cape Town. So we have 2 passengers in our HondaJet today, and it's going to be just under 3 hours, or about 2 hours 45 minutes according to the flight plan. So I'm also pretty new to the HondaJet, so we're going to be getting into some of those systems as well. But all that's left is for us to jump aboard and start getting things ready. So first things first, I'm going to just get this out the way. Let's get the battery and the ground power on. Right, and we'll come down here and start initializing things. Oops. This one. Okay, so we only have 2 passengers, but our fuel today, we have 1,310 kgs, which is 2,900 pounds, so that looks good. Okay, cool. We'll come back to initialize everything. Let's get our flight plan. So there we are, Joburg to Cape Town. Zulu Sierra Victor Julia Kilo is our call sign today. All right, let's import that flight in. Okay, cool. Right, then we can start getting things initialized. So we'll do our pre-flight tests, and then while that's happening, I just want to get these screens set up the way that I want. So this one we'll put on this side and have that on the checklists. This guy, I think we'll have on, oops, on the charts, that on the nav, and then our primary display over there. So that's cool. Let's go back here into our initialization. Okay, weight and fuel, this is done. So here we'll just kind of overstate things a little bit. We have 2 passengers. Oh right, I can just sync all of this from what we already did. Cool, so that's all synced. So now we just need to do speeds. So we'll get all of those and we can switch them all on. So V1 110, we rotated 115, and V2 of 120. Cool, runway 3 for takeoff, or runway 3 left to be exact. So that means we have a nice simple taxi. So we don't need to push, we'll just turn it straight onto Lima. We'll do an intersection departure because we've got plenty of runway to work with, so that's nice and easy. Right, and then our Ragul departure is already set. Okay, we'll obviously double check that with ATC as well before we get going. Okay, checklists. Let's go back here to this screen. Okay, batteries on, oxygen is checked, pressurization set to normal. Electrical, we're on the ground power currently, ELT set to normal. Nose wheel steering, same. All of this kind of starts in the normal position anyway. Landing gear, stowed. Parking brake is set. Flaps are up, thrust levers both on cutoff. Let's just set our speed brake, that's also set. Ice protection we do not need. Fuel panel, everything's on normal. Trims, neutral, normal, normal, dark, normal, and we have done all of our initialization. Okay, passengers are briefed. Rudder pedals adjusted. Obviously we can't do this in the sim. We'll come back to the doors in just a second. Right, so let's just we'll do it on the screen, I guess. So we go back here and then some options. Okay, main doors closed. Right, so doors are all good, so we can tick that off. Parking brake is set. That is all appropriate. Electrical, good. We need a minimum of 23.5. We're at 29. Right, then we can go ahead and start up the engines, but first we need to speak to ATC. So we'll have our flight plan here. So we go to procedures, Ragul 3 Alpha, 03 left. Let's have a look. We flip the screen back over. Because I believe this gives us an initial climb of 8,000 feet. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, transition level 8,000. Contacts the radar at 6.5. Somewhere on here it says the initial climb. Okay, there we go. Climb to 8,000 and further climb under radar control. So we contact radar at 6,500 feet. Okay, let's go ahead and get our ATIS, which is 1262.
Johannesburg Airport information mic. 0821 Zulu. Wind 320 at 12. Temperature 19er. 2.01. QNH 1021. Landing runway 03 right. Departing runway 03 left. Transition level 080. Advise on initial contact, you have information mic.
Okay, so Johannesburg we have information mic. We're over to clearance 1217. We'll dial this up then to an initial altitude of 8,000 and then we'll call for our clearance. Johannesburg delivery, Jet Julia Kilo, IFR to Cape Town, and we have information mic.
Jet Juliet Kilo, Johannesburg delivery. Thanks for information, Mike. Expect runway 03 left, Ragul 3 Alpha departure, initial climb to flight level 120. Squawk 1342.
Head to Cape Town as filed, runway 03 left, Raggle 3 Alpha departure, initial climb, flight level 120, and squawk 1342, Jet Juliet Kilo.
Jet Juliet Kilo, read back correct. Contact ground 122.65 when ready for start of taxi.
122.65, Jet Juliet Kilo. Okay, so it's interesting that they gave us an initial altitude of 12,000 when the charts say to go to 8, but that's okay. Let's just hope that works. Right, so we need to put in our squawk code, which was 1342. Cool, that's done. Flight level is done. And then 03 left and Raggle 3 Alpha, so that's all good. We don't need push, so we can just call. I've got the auto switch on ATC, on Beyond ATC on, so it should have dialed in that frequency correctly, which it has. And so we can call for startup only. Jonas Ground, good morning. Jet Juliet Kilo, request startup only.
Jet Juliet Kilo, engine start approved. Call when ready for taxi.
Engine start approved, Jet Juliet Kilo. Okay. Selected engine. We hit start. Looking for about 10 there, so we can bring that up. Let me just keep an eye on the instruments, make sure that everything looks good. Okay, they disconnected the ground power because the engine is now running. Temperature's coming up. Yeah, it looks pretty stable. Let's do engine 2. Right, there's 10.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
Alright, temperatures, pressures, all looking good. Okay, so that's done. ANSIAS is not required. Code is done. Flight ID is fine. Flight plan is good. Navigation source set to FMS. Altimeters 1021 set. Flaps set for takeoff. Speed brake checked. Cabin signs. We are fine, but we do need to turn this on. Okay, anti-ice is not required. Cool. Okay, so that's done. And then, obviously, to taxi out, we will release the parking brake. Okay, for taxi, we'll check the brakes. Nose wheel steering is done. And we'll check that that's working, and instruments as well. So I can actually just tick those off, because it's going to be a nice short taxi. Right, before takeoff, we can start doing some of this already. Flaps are done. Okay, trims. We're going to do 3. Actually, we'll do 3.5. Like so. Okay, VNav is enabled. So in terms of autopilot, we will go nav, and we will arm the VNav, and then go flight level change, and that will be based on the FMS speed, so that's cool. Flight director's on, that's all good. Right, let's call for taxi. Ground Jet Julie Kilo, ready for taxi.
Jet Juliet Kilo. Runway 03 left taxi via Lima, India, Bravo.
03 left via Lima, India, Bravo. Jet Julie Kilo. Okay, so I forgot with Beyond ATC we can't yet do an intersection departure as far as I can find. So we'll be doing full length. Right. Looks clear. Let's release the brakes. We'll give it quite a bit of power. Okay, so we're going to go straight out here, cross this intersection coming up, and then right on Bravo. Actually, no, we don't cross the intersection. We take the first right, essentially. Because the next one is Alpha, so Bravo is this first one. Okay, so we basically just follow this to the holding point, and we will either get to the hold and let ATC know, or possibly they will inform us before we get there to switch over to the tower frequency. Okay, now in reality, based on what the chart says, you would take off and at 6,500 automatically contact Johannesburg radar. But I don't think Beyond ATC is going to do that. They're going to actually tell us when to switch over. So we will wait for that, and they'll give us the frequency as well.
Jet Juliet Kilo. Contact Johannesburg Tower 118.6.
118.6, Jet Juliet Kilo, good day. Johannesburg Tower, Jet Juliet Kilo, request departure.
Jet Juliet Kilo, Johannesburg Tower. Wind 320 at 12, runway 03 left. Cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 03 left, Jet Juliet Kilo. Right, we are cleared for takeoff. All the checklists are done. Let's get the auto throttle armed. Right, here we go. Airspeed's alive. It's a little windy, so keeping an eye on that. It's 80 knots. It's 100. V1 and rotate.
Pilot from dispatch. Fly safe.
Gear coming up. Through 130 knots, so flaps coming up. And autopilot on. Your dampers on. Let's go flight level change.
Jet Juliet Kilo, contact Johannesburg departure 12 for decimal 5.
124.5, Jet Juliet Kilo, good day. Johannesburg radar, Jet Juliet Kilo passing 7,500 feet for flight level 120.
Juliet Kilo, Johannesburg departure, identified. Climb to flight level 190.
Flight level 190, Jet Juliet Kilo. Okay, let's dial that in. 190. And we are climbing out nicely. So the one thing I do still need to figure out is the VNAV on this, because we don't seem to get a profile. Oh, and we haven't followed that either. It's very interesting. We need to get back on that heading. So I guess when I engage the toga, disengage that for some reason. Yeah, so that's something I need to be aware of. Okay, so we need to get back onto that departure route. We're through 11,000 feet now, which means we're past the transition level as well, so we can set that to standard. Okay, after takeoff, gears up, yaw dampers on, flaps are up, thrust levers are on the auto throttle, set, not required, and we'll leave those as is. Right, pressurization looks good. Altimeter's standard set, and then we're into the cruise next. So what I was talking about is when I've watched videos of other people flying the HJet, they have their vertical profile in here right from the beginning, but mine doesn't seem to do that. And there's no way that I can find to enter your cruise altitude. Anyway, today we're going all the way up to 43,000. That is our actual cruising altitude for this flight. As we're leaving Johannesburg, there's our Tambo.
Jet Juliet Kilo, contact Johannesburg Control West 118.5. Have a good day.
1185 for Jet Juliet Kilo. Good day. Johannesburg Center, Jet Juliet Kilo, climbing through flight level 175 for flight level 190.
Jet Juliet Kilo, Johannesburg Control West. Identified. Climb to flight level 430.
Flight level 430, Jet Juliet Kilo. Okay, we're going all the way up to cruise. Like so. Right, so far, ATC's been fine. Now the other thing that's going to be kind of interesting is it looks like we might have a bit of weather to deal with in Cape Town. So Cape Town's METAR currently says visibility is fine. Wind, however, 350 gusting 36 knots. Scattered clouds at 2,000 feet, broken at 3,500. Temperature 14 and light rain. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go as well. We are climbing like an absolute rocket. Already coming through 21,500 feet, and we've only just reached that point now. That's crazy. So there is our Tambo over there, Johannesburg CBD there, SABC. What else can I recognize from here? FMB Stadium. The Soweto Towers. I mean, we're basically just passing the stadium, well, passing the CBD, passing SABC, and we're already almost 25,000 feet. See, I don't understand why none of this, like, populates. Okay, so we're gonna reach 43 before Uteva. So maybe... yeah, maybe it's because none of these actually have altitude restrictions in them. So that at least gives us something. That gives us top of climb. So then I guess we'd have to put in one of these waypoints here with an altitude restriction in order to get a top of descent. I don't think any of these have restrictions though. See, none of these have altitude restrictions. Now, I'm pretty sure what we're going to get. So it has put in Airdas 1 Alpha, runway 1. So if we put in the approach to runway 10, which has a minimums of 200-foot radio. See, that has an altitude restriction here. We still don't get... okay, we're still going to top of climb, so maybe... I'll keep an eye on that as we go. Just passing through 30,000 feet. So I think what I'm going to do now is just give you a bit of a cruise time lapse, and I'll join you again when it's time to prep for the descent. Because all we're going to get from ATC at this point is just a handoff to Cape Town Center, and then we'll contact them a bit later on when we are ready to begin our descent for Cape Town. So I'll see you in just a bit. Okay, so ATC has just confirmed that we are on the Airdas 1 Alpha arrival for runway 01, which is exactly what we have programmed. So we're just about ready to start our descent. I still can't get the VNav thing to work. I'm not sure what the issue is. I mean, it says it's in VNav, but it doesn't give me any, like, profile. Maybe it's because of the vectored section, but yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, we're about to start our descent, so we will let ATC know. Okay, Town Center, Jet Julia Kilo, ready for descent.
Kip Juliet Kilo, Airda 1 Alpha, runway 01, descend to 2,000 feet, QNH 1012.
Descend to 2,000 feet, QNH 1012, Jet Julia Kilo. Okay, wow, all the way down to 2,000. So here's the thing, it says VNav path. Just not sure at which point it's going to start the descent. So I can do it like a VNav direct to, basically. See, it doesn't give me a top of descent. So if I come in here and select this, we can say direct to, and then we should start descending now. Which we haven't. See, and it hasn't given me a top of descent, so maybe we're too far away. So what I think I'm actually going to do then is go out of VNav, and we just go into vertical speed, and we'll do down 1,800, which is about what it says we should be doing. Okay, so we are on Airdas 1 Alpha. Let's just see. 250 and 210, so our speeds are in there. And then we will vector ourselves in to line up with the ILS. Cool, missed approaches there, climb to 6.5. That's good. Cool. Okay, landing field elevation 193. That is correct. Anti-air is not required, and altimeters we will set as we descend further. Okay, weather in Cape Town. Wind now 300, gusting 31. Visibility, though, is a bit of an issue. 1.6 miles, 2,500 meters. That might be a problem. Clouds broken at 3,500. Heavy rain. Temperature of 12 degrees. So we might be in a bit of trouble. So we're definitely going to be on the ILS. And we've got the minimums of 200 radio set. If I come back down here and we go to charts, this is a standard ILS, but we can actually go to Cat 2, which gives us a radio altimeter of 106. What else is different between these two? So the holding pattern and all that is still in the same place. Interceptor 2000. I think maybe we should go for this. So let's see, do we have that as a different option here? So that is ILS. Okay, it doesn't specify, so it seems like it's the same in here, which kind of makes sense. They do have standard ILS and ILS Zulu for runway 19. Okay, so this stays the same. We can change this to 106, which gives us a little bit more space to try and make it in. Right, so that's done. Down to 2000, so that's correct. Right, it's gonna be interesting. Okay, if we have to divert, we're going to George. George's weather currently, absolutely clear, wind 320 at 17, so that's okay. Visibility 10 plus, no clouds, temperature 90, no precipitation, altimeter 1010. Predicting rain later in the afternoon. Cool, but that'll be fine if we need to divert. So I think we'll give it 2 approaches, and then if we can't make it in the second one, in the hold we'll set up our route to George. Actually wanted to change this. Somewhere in here. There we go. So, fuel in kgs, weight in kgs, but that's still showing us in pounds. So maybe it's just in here. It doesn't actually change over there. Interesting. altitude units, but I doubt we can change that. So I find it really interesting how the plane always wants to fly like literally on the edge of that barber pole. It's a bit stressful. Okay, we might as well set up our heading so long. That will be 190 once we get to that point.
Kim Juliet Kilo, contact Cape Town approach 120.05.
120.05. Jet Juliet Kilo. Good day.
Negative. Cape Town approach on 120.05.
120.05. Jet Juliet Kilo. Cape Town approach, good day. Jet Juliet Kilo, descending 2,000 feet.
Jet Juliet Kilo, verify information India.
We have information India, Jet Juliet Kilo.
Jet Juliet Kilo Cape Town approach. QNH1013, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 01.
QNH1013 and expect radar vectors ILS 01 for Jet Juliet Kilo. So they will give us radar vectors, which is perfect. Just keeping an eye on that vertical profile. I'm expecting them to give us something like 190 once we get to that point to fly out parallel to the runway. Yeah, look at the weather now. We are far too high still. So let's just do flight level change, which should keep our speed and descend us as quickly as possible. The gusty wind is going to be the biggest challenge here, actually. Okay, just looking at our fuel, we need 227 kgs plus 163 contingency. So 227 to get to George, 163 for that 30 minutes contingency. So it's 300 kgs. So let's say 400 kgs. And And if we convert that to pounds,
Jet Juliet Kilo, leave D065H heading 1905. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 01.
leave D065 Hotel heading 195, radar vectors for ILS 01, Jet Juliet Kilo. Okay, so I was close, I want 195. Okay, so converted to pounds, it's 881, so let's call it 880 pounds. So we currently have 15, so we need to leave Cape Town with no less than 880 pounds of fuel on board, which gives us quite a bit of time to do extra approaches. We could probably even do more than 2. And I think just for extra safety, we'll round that up to 900. So if we cannot make it in on the first approach, we will assess our fuel. But once the fuel hits 900, we are going to George.
Jet Juliet Kilo, turn left, heading 200, vectors for the approach.
Left to 200, Jet Juliet Kilo. Right, at Cape Town, we're on Charlie Apron. Okay, below 8,000 feet now. Yeah, we don't actually need to descend this fast anymore. Okay, just flaps left on the approach check. Yeah, so we'll probably vacate here. What's that? Echo. So it'll be Echo and into the apron. Echo Alpha Charlie Apron. Most likely. Okay, it looks like we're about to go into the soup. We should be turning right shortly. There we are at 2,000 feet now. It's quite bright with the light off the top of the clouds. Yeah, wind's currently showing 17 knots from behind. Let's go into manual speed mode at 210 is perfect. Okay, since we're done with the FMS route, we can switch this over so that we have the ILS. Taking us quite far out here. Really slowed the descent down if I realized they were going to take us this far out. Okay, fuel way down to 1460. Now it just feels like they've forgotten about us. Guess the only kind of request we could use to maybe try to get us back on track here is to request the
Jet Juliet Kilo, turn right, heading 270.
right to 270, Jet Juliet Kilo. Wow, longest leg ever. Yeah, there's 270. Just see the ocean through the haze there. heading 325 and maintain 2000 until established ILS 01, Jet Juliet Kilo. Okay, we're cleared for the ILS. Let's arm the approach mode. The rain. Oh wow, we're outside the range of the ILS. Are you serious? We just picked it up, 25.7 miles. So that's a little bit of a fail from the ATC, not gonna lie. Should never have taken us out that far. It's also meant we burnt off extra fuel for out diversion. We're now 1,400 pounds. It still didn't intercept. There we go. Look at the weather out that way. Some more heavy rain. Yeah, we're gonna have a long way to go. She said report established final approach course. So I guess that just means the localizer? As far as I know, again, I'm not a rail pilot, but as far as I know, you report established on the localizer. You don't have to be on the glide slope completely. So technically at this point we're established. We're still 20 miles out. Approach Jet Juliet Kilo established on the localizer ILS 01.
Jet Juliet Kilo, Roger.
So they're still going to wait until we're closer to hand us over to the tower where we will get clearance to land. Visibility is getting worse as we get closer to the airport. Can't see the ground at all anymore. Now a layer of mist below us, or fog below us, whatever you want to call it, and we are crabbing quite a bit, so we've got 18 knots from the left. As we come in on our 25-mile final, we're now 14 miles. glide slope is alive, but still not coming down yet. This is about where we should have been intercepting, rather than 25 miles out. A little bit out of the weather here for a bit. You see that like wall of rain is behind us, but we still got to descend into the soup. Like, yeah, I can't see the ground at all. Nah, nothing.
Jet Juliet Kilo, contact Cape Town Tower 118.1. Bye-bye.
118.1 for Jet Juliet Kilo. Good day. Cape Town Tower, good day. Jet Juliet Kilo, ILS, runway 01.
Jet Juliet Kilo, Cape Town Tower, continue.
Continue approach, Jet Juliet Kilo. Okay, let's start bringing the speed down because the glide slope is coming. And we'll go flaps 1, which also means we can complete this checklist. Okay, 6 miles out. Gear coming down. Speed brakes retracted. Flaps. Our approach speed is 113.
2,000.
So there's 2,000 feet. We can start slowing down. We'll give it a bit of extra on top because of the wind, so we'll go to 120.
Jet Juliet Kilo, wind 295 at 11. Runway 01 cleared to land.
Runway 01, clear to land, Jet Juliet Kilo. Okay, he said winds 295 at 11. That's a lot less than we were expecting.
No. Jet Juliet Kilo cleared to land runway 01.
Clear to land, runway 01, Jet Juliet Kilo. Right, here we go, I guess. Okay, radar altimeter 1,000 feet. Winds are showing 21 knots off the left. We are now in the rain. Okay, 1,000-foot radio.
1,000.
This can go up to 6.5 in case we go around. Okay, 600 radio. I can just see the ground. Okay, 500 feet, throttle's mine.
400.
You can see the ground, but no runway. There's the highway, which crosses just before the airport.
300.
I have the lights. And runway in sight.
Autopilot. 200. Minimums.
Continue.
50, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Transporter from dispatch. Nice landing. Go to the parking and put your parking brake on. I'll be in touch.
Contact ground for your parking assignment, then shut down your engine.
Right, there we have it.
Jet Juliet Kilo, exit left at Echo.
Left at Echo, Jet Juliet Kilo.
Jet Juliet Kilo, contact ground 121.9er. Have a good day.
Maps coming up. 1219, have a good day, Jet Juliet Kilo. Okay, so they're assigning us ramp 148. I'm just looking on the Beyond ATC window. Let's see where that is. Okay, that's putting us in the general aviation. So we actually want... So that's all the way down there. We actually want ramp Charlie 4. It's on ground, good day. Jet Juliet Kilo, request taxi to ramp Charlie 4.
Jet Juliet Kilo, unfortunately, ramp Charlie 4 isn't suitable for your aircraft. Please select a different one, or I can choose one for you.
Okay, so it's only giving us the options for the GA ramps. And Jet Juliet Kilo will take ramp 148.
Jet Juliet Kilo, ramp 148 taxi via Echo, Bravo, Hotel.
Ramp 148 via Echo Bravo Hotel, Jet Juliet Kilo. Right, so... Ramp 148 is down here. It's actually not that building, it's this building in here. So we keep going past the Charlie apron here. Then we take Echo. Oh, sorry. hotel. So we just went off Echo on Bravo now, and then it's right on hotel into that GA area. So that's this one, and then it's in between those two big hangars on the left. Whoops. It's because it's wet. Oh, look, the rain coming down now. So ramp 148 is on the next left. Next left and then left onto the ramp. Which is here. Cool, that's us. Actually want us more over this way, okay. Okay, let's bring up the checklist again. So, I don't want to go through all of these, let's just do it on this page. So after landing, we did all of that. So parking brake is set, wheel chocks, we'll sort out now, NCIS is off, external power will get up and running once we shut down, thrust levers to cut off. Like so. Cabin signs, oxygen, parking brake is set. We'll keep it on because of the
Okay,
chocks.
pilot, the guests are leaving the aircraft now.
passengers disembarking. And then we can come down here and go, not that one, this one. Get rid of, oops, we can get rid of the GPU because we're done for now, and switch off. Right, we'll have to unload in the rain, but
Let's go.
it is what it is. And there we are, safely arrived at Cape Town. So interesting. I think Beyond ATC did fine until our vectors for the final approach. That was a bit overkill, putting us that far out to intercept the ILS. But other than that, pretty good. They have made some improvements in having the little like map that you can now view to see where the different stands are, because the naming doesn't always match the actual naming on the chart. It depends on the developer who made the airport. So that's really nice to see the information that they're picking up from the sim, so you can actually pick a gate that you kind of know where it is in order to navigate to it. I don't know why it wouldn't let us take one of the stands on Charlie, but obviously because it's picking up, I guess, this as a general aviation aircraft, we had to go to the GA ramp. But otherwise, that's the first of our Beyond ATC in South Africa legs. Next, I guess we'll go to one of the smaller airports, maybe like in East London or something like that. Still full ILS, full ATC coverage, but a little bit smaller. And then after that, we'll probably look at something that doesn't have like an ILS. Like one of the airports that only has like an RNAV or VOR, maybe like Pietermaritzburg, which only has RNAV approaches. So that could be interesting, and we'll see where it goes from there. But anyway, that's going to bring us to the end of this video. If you did make it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. And if you did enjoy, you know what to do down below, and I'll see you in the next one.